So yesterday we saw the introduction, or in the previous two classes, we saw the introduction to AWS and the various services and just the definition of the services. Then we started looking at how to register for an AWS account in their console, and we saw how to check the front page for the services. So today we will go ahead and see how to navigate the billing and cost management dashboard. That is it not shared to you guys? Okay, let me share it again. Okay, so that's what I was talking about. Today we'll go ahead and look at the billing and cost management dashboard and how to check the services health. And trusted advisor we saw partially, and there's not much to show, but anyway, I'll just go ahead and show it. So that is what we are going to look at today. So I'm going to jump to my console now. Let me see if I can navigate faster there. Before doing that, I wanted to show you one more thing. This is my Gmail account. Anyway, that is not what I wanted to show, but you can see here AWS release notes. So I would like you to register for some of the marketing or latest updates so that you get the latest information of what is happening in the AWS world. As you can see, or if you can see this properly, Amazon is introducing something called new G3 instances, the next generation of GPU powered graphic for graphic intensive applications. And there is another interesting news for auto scaling. Um, so the point here is register for this marketing mail from AWS so that you will be aware of what is the latest services that is happening, what are the latest launches that is happening, and you will be getting latest up-to-date information right in your inbox without going and searching somewhere for what is happening. Just to keep you updated, so in interviewer asks you about some feature, you can say that it is a new feature, it is newly launched, and you are yet to gain in-depth skills in that, but you are aware that a new product has been launched in the market. So that's all I wanted to show here. This is very useful information, and if you go ahead, and in-depth article will be listed there in their website. So next is another URL I wanted to show you here is this one. Let it refresh. Interesting. Status.aws.amazon.com. So this is the services health dashboard for Amazon. In other words, a quick view of what I mean, there is no one particular service, Mr. Hanu, that where you can go ahead and register for it. You just have to go and see if you register for any event or a particular page or a service. There will be subscribe for alerts will be there. I mean, everything is not like one collated place where I can say go ahead and do this. You will get alerts for that. You just have to look around and see whether the subscribe options are there, or um, these are all notifications in other sense. Remember, yesterday we talked about email service notification and push notification. So there will be an RSS feed sometimes, or there will be sometimes an email subscribe service, or in your account itself there will be an option. Sometimes they send an email for account holders saying this instance is having some issues, so we are launching new instances. So you can see here the RSS feed that I spoke about in my page, that you can see there is an RSS feed for services. You can subscribe to this RSS feed also to get this is particularly for having the health check of the service. So if you subscribe to this one, you will get information about EC2 Systems Manager in North Carolina. And if you want to know about whether API gateway is online, then you subscribe to this. So like this, you can see this is quite a big page. You have a lot of services listed here. It keeps on going all the way down. So this is one page where you can check the health of entire AWS services in all the regions. So you can see at the top, it is listed for North America. And if you want to check for some other service, it's still not refreshing. That is very slow today, I guess. Okay, this is what I was referring to. In the top, you have four tabs: North America, South America, Europe, Asia Pacific. So you can choose whichever region you are interested in and start receiving alerts or notifications if anything goes down in that region. So this is very important to check if something goes wrong in your account and you're not able to figure out why it is going wrong. You come to the AWS Services Health check AWS Web Services Service Health dashboard and go ahead and look on this options. See whether you have a green icon here, or if any of this green icon is having a problem, then you should be really worried and contact AWS to check out what is happening. So this is the services health dashboard I was talking about in my to-do list. Let us go ahead and log into my account then. So this is one of the accounts, and I'm going to check whether I have. And by the way, I also Google the URL for the services health dashboard. If you just Google for this, 90% of the times the first URL is this one. You can bookmark it, the services dashboard, or you can search it like I do always. It's up to you. But anyway, the URL is status.aws.amazon.com. Okay, today we are having a very bad connection, I guess. I'm not sure how to improve that. Let's see, I can go slowly. As I said, Mr. Hanu, there is not one place that you can get the recent alerts. If you go to the home page of aws.amazon.com, you will. I am in the aws.amazon.com homepage. You will see all the recent events here. Wait a second. And if you come down, sometimes, guys, I expect you to be little bit stand on your own legs and try to find simple things like these things. So in aws.amazon.com, if you browse and look around a little bit, you'll find these two options: what's new.rss and subscribe to updates. So this is almost common in any website or any product that you can choose. You can find something similar in Facebook, Google, or YouTube, or whatever it is. Any product anybody is selling, they will have an option to subscribe for their updates. And if this updates is not giving you all the information, then you need to search for that product page and then find an option to subscribe to their updates. So that is not like one stop shop and you go ahead and do this, you will get everything. That is not going to happen. We will have to sometimes put in a little bit more hard work and then find out where are the options to subscribe for the updates. So let's move forward. So I'm logged into my account and I'm going to choose my organization now. Is it refreshing? I just logged in. I want to show you how an organization looks like. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. Usually, when you sign in, you will have your company's name or your name, and then the region, and then the support options. If you click on this, the various support options will be available to you. You can contact the support center using this option. You can raise a ticket, and your response time will depend upon the type of support you have subscribed. Remember, when you are trying to register for an account, it would have given you three options: basic, and developer and enterprise options, each with having a different levels of cost. So based on that, your response time will also differ, and the type of skill level that you get from Amazon will also differ when you're raising a ticket. By default, email-based support for longer response time is free, so you can go ahead and raise a ticket in that mechanism also. And I have found that basically that also works very well. They give good quality information in the ticket and not standard templated answers. And there are forums that is also very good. You can raise your queries there on Amazon forums if you are really stuck up. And there is very good documentation also available, and there are other resources. So let's go ahead and click on my account, or let us go ahead and look at my billing dashboard first, then we look at the organization part of it. Typically what I want to show you is where your bills will be showing and how to navigate your bills that are being showed up to say which services has consumed how much. Because sometimes I've seen my customers asking me saying, can you tell me how much storage I have used this month and what is the cost for storage alone? Or sometimes the request comes in like, how many hours we were running this particular server, or how many usage requests were made for this database, those kind of things. So these kind of requests can be answered by coming to the billing and cost management dashboard. It usually gets automatically populated with all the information that you will be seeing there in your screen. It is still loading. Yeah, that is what I'm talking about. I particularly chose this old account so that we can see some numbers there. If you use a new account, if you navigate to your own dashboard, as of now, it will be all zeros because there is not much usage happening. So I have chosen a little bit older account where some usage is there so that we can see some numbers. So the overall bill for the current month is usually shown here in the top and the spend summary. And then in the overall spend summary, you will have a pie chart, or you can say circular chart where all the figures are shown here. And if you point your mouse, it will show you what service it has consumed and that much amount. For example, I'm on the right hand side of the chart. You can see there S3 is being highlighted as being consumed as a $0.04. And if I move my mouse to the green area there, it will say Route 53 is has consumed about a $0.01. So it's all listed at the bottom, and the topmost items are listed here on what services are consuming. On the left of this chart, you have something like a 3-bar graphs. This is a projection for next month for me. In the bottom, you have the last month for June. I have okay. I have clicked on it. Let me go back. Usually, what happens is it gives the 3 bar graphs. One is for the previous month, that is June, and then it will show me the current usage for the current month, that is July, and it will also show a projection, that is a forecast for how much I would use this month. So you can see here for the June it says $0.05 I have used, and July I might currently I have used 0.05, and I might end up with 0.08. That is a forecasted cost for this month, they are saying. So it gives a good indication for customers or business users to show them what will be the projected cost as calculated by Amazon. And it is not an accurate forecast, but it usually is a pretty close forecast to what is the actual usage. And if you scroll down a little bit, the top free tier service usage, you will be there. Since we are all going to be use our free tier account, we need to be aware of this table as well. This table shows you the limit and your consumption as well. So you see here, this is the limit, month to date usage, free tier limit, and forecasted usage. So out of S3, 20,000 requests are free for me, and out of those 20,000, I mean 2,000, I'm sorry, S3 for S3 put request, 2000 requests are free, and I have used about 833 of that. Whereas for EC2 Linux, I have about 750 hours of free tier limit, and out of those 750 hours, I have used about 52 hours of it. And it is forecasted that I might end up using 68 hours at the month end. Likewise, for S3 gets 20,000 requests are free, and I have already used about 462. So it goes on like this. So if you feel that you have going to hit any limit, come here to your billing and cost management dashboard and see whether you are close to the limit or you have to change your spending habits in AWS. This way you can keep your cost under control. If this number, let us say this 462 is going to reach this 20,000, then you know that you're going to start incurring additional cost for using AWS. So you need to change your experiments that you're trying to do, or you need to be ready to spend more money to learn AWS at that point of time. Alerts and notification, you can configure alerts and notification. If in case whenever you get a bill, you can enable alert notification by using this option. It automatically sends you an email when the charges reaches a threshold. So let us go ahead and look at budgets. That is what sets an alert for us. It's pretty slow. Okay, I clicked on alerts, budgets, and sorry. Okay, this is the dashboard that you get when you go to the AWS budget. So say for example, this month I'm doing a training with you guys and I don't want to exceed a budget of $1. So what I do is I go ahead and click on create budget and then say I'm going to call this as a training budget for $1. It is absolutely user-friendly free-form text, so I can type whatever I want to type there. So in the training field, I'm typing it as training budget for $1, and I'm keeping it as cost itself and not usage. And I'm going to keep it as monthly. And start date is I'm going to choose 1st of July, and end date is going to be 31st of July. And the budgeted amount is, let us say, about 70 rupees for me. That is $1. Oh, I'm sorry, that is in dollar denominated. Okay, so I'm just going to say $1 there, and it is asking me refine your budget, what all options I need to use, so that what all cost should I be calculating there. So I'm going to say tags. I will tag almost all my services. So I'm going to use tag, and whenever I'm using any service like EC2 or S3, I will add a tag so that this budget will pick up that tag as a training, and then we'll pick it up. I'm going to choose a service also. So when you choose this option, it asks me what all services it wants to include in this budget. So I'm going to choose, let us say, S3. Okay, S3. And availability zone, you can choose any of these customization options. Let us leave it for this demo as S3 and the tag. And then it is asking me, where do you want to notify it actually when it happens? So I'm going to say, when the forecasted amount, notify me when the, I'm looking at the section 3 notifications optional. So there is a drop down window which says notify me when, and it has actual and forecasted. I am changing it to forecasted so that it reads like notify me when forecasted costs are equal to 100% of my budgeted amount. So in other words, when the forecast is equal to $1, email me. That is what I'm going to tell them. So that's it. You just type in your email contacts. If you have an SNS topic, you can type in the SNS topic. We don't have any other SNS topic, so that's it. We just go ahead and click on create. It should be happening. Yeah, you can. I don't know whether you'll be able to see this. Your budget is created successfully. At the top, it comes. Okay, you can see the green color thingy. It disappears very fast. Okay, after it refreshes, and this is what happens. So my budget forecast, or I have created a budget, and I have also created a notification for my budget for $1 for this month. So this is how it appears. So this is a very simple scenario that I have shown, but in reality, what happens is, let us say there's a big company and they have a HR department, they have finance department, or a product development company where they have dev team, test team, UAT, integration team. All of them will be having a separate AWS account. We will see that how to create a separate account for within the company itself, and all of them will have a budget for every month or quarter. So they will set up an alerts like this. You can set up more fine-grained alerts like this so that they know exactly how much they are using, and they need to change their using habits if they are going to hit the forecasted budget. So that is how in reality these options are used, creating budget and notifications when the budget hits a particular amount. So that is one thing that I wanted to show you. And next is consolidated billing. Before going to consolidated billing, I want to make you understand this point. So take the same example of a product company. They are having different teams, test and development and UAT and production management. So each of these teams will have a separate AWS account, but all of these accounts will be tied to the corporate account itself. So we have one corporate account. Under the corporate account, you are having smaller and smaller accounts, different accounts. So this is called a consolidated billing mechanism, so that the usage for the all the smaller accounts or child accounts will be billed to the parent account itself. So whenever a CIO or CTO for a company looks at the AWS spending, he doesn't have to consolidate all the report from all the people. He will have only one dashboard and one metric to look at. And this will also have a fine-grained look or more granular look at what each department is spending in AWS. So it gives the flexibility for all the departments also, and it also gives a consolidated report also. So how do you do that is you have something like a consolidated billing on your screen on the left hand side. So if you click on this option, it will allow you to create your own organization. So this has been moved to something called AWS organizations. And if you click on here, you will see my organization. Let it refresh for you guys. You can see the big blue box which says consolidated billing has moved to migrated organizations. So if you can see, if you drop down your name or account name in the top, you will see something like my organization. If I click on that, it goes there. So whatever you have created so far is called the root account because it has access to everything. Think of it as a super admin privileges for the account. So we are going to create a child account, or I'm going to show you how to create a child account and how to link it. I have already created one child account called something called Kumar Searches plus Trainer, and I have created it on 15th of April. Let it refresh, you will see it. See here, this star means that this is the master account, and I have created a child account. So how to create a child account is go ahead and click on add account, which you see at the top. You will need a proper email address, name and email address, and an IAM role for that. The IAM roles, you need to give administrative level access. This is optional. You can come ahead and do it later as well. I'm just going to say test, and it will not accept this usually, because if the email, it will send a verification email to this email addresses. I don't want it to work. I don't, just want to throw in some junk characters so that I don't want to invite somebody to my account. So blah blah blah, and then click on create. So that person, you can see here, test NA is creation is in progress. Once it is created, that account, that is a child account, that will also be linked to this master account. So once that person gets a notification email and they accept it, it will be enabled for configurations or privileges. So let me show you how to add privileges. I'm just going to select this pre-existing account. I'm going to click on this. Oh, come on, it's loading. Okay, you can see here on the right hand side for this account, I have given separate policies, service control policies. Let it load. I have given something called full access, full AWS access. And how do I do that is by going to this options, organize accounts. If you go to the top, organize accounts will be there. It gives a nice hierarchical view of your different accounts. Let us go ahead and do that. This is all most probably this will happen only when a new company is onboarding to AWS, and when a new company wants to set up AWS for the very first time. If you are not involved in account creation or account setup, this will not be expected out of you at all. So you can see here I have a root account, and under the root account I have an Arivu Empower vertical. Under that vertical I have two accounts. It should show these two accounts here. This under this vertical, I have two accounts. One is this one, another one is the one that we just now created. So you can create multiple organizations. I can create a test organization. I can create an HR organization. I can create a security organization. I can create a system admin DBS, any kind of organization logical that you can think of. And under that vertical or organization, you can have any number of accounts, and each of those accounts will have a separate login page. So I'm just going to show you how to do that. Before that, let me show you how to add policies for each of that account. So you can create a policy. This is a little bit advanced, but in other words, think of it, I'm just giving them how much permissions they want to access and all those things. And once you create those permissions, you can assign it to any of the users there or organizations there. So this is we will see more in depth on how to create a policy using policy generator, or how to copy from an existing policy. In effect, what it does is you are going to allow or deny permissions for them for certain levels of access. Say, for example, whether they can create another organization under the parent organization, or whether they can create multiple users, or if they can create users, whether the users can have complex passwords or federated identity. Those kind of small things you can do. So you can use all these options, but in the beginning stage, I don't expect you guys to do this at all. Most probably this will be done when the account is being set up, and the account setup will also be done by mostly the architects who are involved in doing that. So for now, just be aware that you can create multiple organizations, and under multiple organizations, be aware that each of them can have separate levels of privileges. Not all of them will be equal. Some of them will be just read-only access. For example, this guy that I showed you has full AWS access. So different accounts will have different privileges and all those sort of things. So this is what an organization looks like. And if you go, let us go back to our billing dashboard. Okay, how do I get back here? Do I have it here? No. Let me go back from here itself. My billing management console. So in my billing dashboard, if you click on view the linked accounts, it will show me two accounts that are linked, that we have created, the two organizations. Okay, it takes me back here. Okay, it just shows the two accounts that I have in my account, so that you can. And there is one more possibility is also. Somebody wanted to say something. Okay, there is one more possibility also is there. You can link your account with some third party also using the email address and account ID of that person. That is, in other words, you want to collaborate between two accounts so that they can talk to each other or the billing. Or let us say a parent company has bought another company and they want to merge those accounts. So those kind of complex scenarios are also possible, and you can have linked accounts not originally related. They might be related down the line. So, and if you want to link them, that is also possible. So I'm just going back to my billing dashboard once again to show how the bills looks like. Okay, we are on the billing dashboard, and we already saw this. Just a moment, my screen froze up. Just a moment. Strange. Meanwhile, guys, while I'm trying to wait for my screen to unfreeze, so far, are we good? Any questions so far? Awesome. This is not what I expected in the morning. Okay, finally I managed to get it working. Okay, awesome. So what I wanted to show is where exactly is the consolidated billing option shows up on the screen. So here, if you go to the billing tab, you have the bill for let me just move back and say let me go for May, where there is some more usage in my account, I believe. Let me just go ahead and choose May there. Okay, not much of a usage, about $0.97 of usage, and you can see all the different services listed here where I have consumed different amounts. Like this, for example, in Elastic Compute Cloud, I have used about $0.76, and you see that there are two tabs here. This is consolidated bill details and bill details by account here. So this is how a consolidated bill happens and arrives to your company. So all the charges will be shown, all the charges incurred by all the organizations or departments or all the accounts will be shown here in consolidated bill details. And if you want to see it in detail for each account, go ahead and click on this option. And you can see here my account, though I have not used anything in my parent account, I don't have any other account. So each account will be separately listed here, and it will show the charges for that account itself. So for example, if you see I have a 0.97 charge, but 0.189 only used by this account. So some other charges are consumed by my parent account, and there are some tax charges as well. For example, If I go here, the tax invoices, there is about $2 or something like that for taxes in India. I mean, $0.2 or something. So there are this is how you navigate your billing dashboard. Okay, I can see it here, guys. See here, there is a service tax for usage charges and service tax for new purchase agreements. There are two items that you can see here. That is $0.11 dollars. Yeah, Hanu, it might be GST. Depending upon your country, Amazon charges you different rates. I'm showing a May month bill, so this is pre-GST in my opinion. But anyway, there is a very small amount of tax that will be associated with your account, which doesn't show up in the bill itself because it is on top of your bill. So this is how you navigate the billing dashboard. This is how you create your organization. This is how we create parent accounts, child accounts, and see the consolidated bills and all those things. So let me move back to your account itself. So there is not much in billing and cost management dashboard. There are one or two questions in the interview. I'm sorry, not in the interview. There are one or two questions in the certification exam about this billing dashboard. Very, very simple ones. What does a consolidated billing means, and whether you can allocate the budgets or tags or those sort of questions. So that is why I had to spend some time here for so that people who might be interested in taking up the certification might be easy to clear off those exams, those questions. And I'm just going to click on my account here in under my name. So great. I actually wanted to go to security credentials. So when you I actually wanted to go to security credentials. It's opening. This is where the URL for your account or resetting a password for your account or setting complexity requirements for your account happens. Get started. I'm going to say continue with security credentials. This is continuing security credentials is an old way of doing things. IAM is for managing user IDs. Security credentials is where you manage your user ID and password. So for now, I wanted to show you how to use the password, MFA, and all those things. So choose that option. And here is the option to change your password. Click here to change your password or email address for your root account. I'm not going to do this, but it should be fairly simple for you guys to figure out what happens here. It's very, very straightforward. And when it says multi-factor authentication, it is nothing but you will be given a code. You need to register your mobile number first. Once you register your mobile number, you will get an OTP. Most of the Indian people who are using banking or wallet or Paytm should be aware of what is an OTP. They will be getting a 4-digit or 6-digit number in their mobile, and once they enter that in the dashboard, then only they will be able to authenticate and log into their account. So it is a multi-factor authentication mechanism. You can enable it using a mobile device, or you can enable it using an RSA key fob or anything. You can use any of those combinations. Then is your access key and the secret key. I'm not exactly sure it will show up my key. Let me just freeze my screen, stop recording. Okay, as of now, good that I don't have access key for my root account. That is good. That's a good habit. I was not sure whether I had enabled it or not, so I had to freeze my screen. So what this means is if you need programmatic access, or if you are setting up an Amazon CLI for your account, we will see setting up the CLI later in the later classes. You will need this access key. When you click on create a new access key, it will give you two sets of key. One is a secret key and access key. Um, so you will use that to set up your account. Let us do that when we are coming to that classes. Just be aware that this is the place where you will create your access key and the secret key through which you can access with your account programmatically, or any scripted mechanisms or automation will be happening through these keys. So these the keys have to be very confidential. because it gives full privileges to the account, especially if it is a root account. It gives full privileges to that account, and they should be able to launch anything for their needs. So be very careful when you're creating them and storing them locally. And likewise, if you want to have CloudFront, CloudFront SSL will be generated here. And if you are wanting your own SSL keys, this is the place. Remember, I spoke about importing your own SSL certificates. This is the place where you will import your own certificate here. And X09 is another certificate for signing cross-site verification. That is nothing but this is a application technology. You don't have to worry about it. But if somebody says that their application uses certificates, and if you want to upload their certificates, this is where you come ahead and do it. And account identifier is another, you don't literally have to see that, but this is my account identifier. For my account, each account has an alphanumeric identifier, uh, through which you can interact with other people in the internet by sharing your account identifier, especially when you trust them only. So that is the one thing that I wanted to show here. And if you click on dashboard, I think we are already in the dashboard. Let me check on that. Okay, not. If you click on the dashboard, here you see that I have the URL for my account. I can use this URL to log into my account, and you can customize this URL. You see here, I have customized it for my friendly name that I can remember. You can customize it by clicking on this link here, and it will say that do you want to delete it and use the account number instead. Usually there will be a number there which is linked to your account, and if you don't want to use that number, go ahead and customize it to whatever you want to. So that is about your own personal dashboard, customizing it and setting your password policies on all those sort of things. And if you come to the dashboard, it says all these things: delete your root access key, activate MFA on your root account, create individual IAM users, and all those kind of things. If I click on users, we will see in depth this particular area in depth in the IAM class. For a refresher or just an introduction, this is the place where you will create user accounts in your root account. If you remember, I always log in with a trainer underscore admin, and this is a separate account that I have created so that I won't log in with my root account. I will just log in with my another account with having privileges as admin. And I have created an admin group, which is nothing but if you go ahead and click on groups, you will see this admin group there. It is typical of what we have done in Linux world or Unix world or anything. Group common users together and give them a group ID, and then put all the users there and give them necessary privileges. The privileges are given by using these roles and policies. There are different types of roles I have created, and these all the roles give them different levels of privileges. For example, if I assign this privilege, they will have access to my EC2 dashboard, and they will be able to perform all actions in my EC2. This one will connect my EC2 and S3 and give them full access. In other words, allows EC2 instances to call AWS S3 services. That should be the description here. So just awareness today. From tomorrow we'll talk about S3, and you should be able to understand more how all these things are interrelated. For now, all I wanted to show you is go to your dashboard, customize your URL, create yourself a user account, delete your root access key, because in enterprises nobody logs in with the root account. So you should create that practice now itself, so that you can use create another user, start logging in with that user account only. Do not log in with your root account. And if you want to play around with MFA, go ahead and do that. There is no additional charges for using MFA. You can register your mobile number to Amazon account, and then they will start sending the OTP to your Amazon account. And I didn't want to do that with my root account because I didn't have multiple mobile numbers, so I didn't register that way. But anyway, I never log in with my root account at all. So there is no sudo access, there is no elevated access. It is all maintained by roles and policies here in Amazon. So if you give a policy, if you assign a policy with more privileges, that means that person is going to have more access. If you assign a policy with less privileges, that person is going to have lesser access. It's all driven through policies. There is no pseudo access or administrator group or elevated privileges in Amazon. So let me go back to my presentation and see what else I wanted to cover here. I think we are good here with the basics. We covered the service management dashboard. We saw billing and cost management dashboard, and we saw the trusted advisor yesterday. So for today's home study, let's say go ahead and create another account. I mean, when I say another account, create an organization, and under that another child organization, and create an account for that child organization. That is another user ID, so that you can log in with that user ID and practice it with logging in with your user account. Say, for example, let me just go ahead and try to show you. If I try to copy paste this URL, it will give me a different login page from the usual one that we always see. Oh, I've logged in. Okay, let me just log out. Okay, good. It is taking in my. Let me see whether it is prompting me to log in with my. Okay, great. It works. You can see here it shows my account name like this, and it is asking me my child account user ID and the password. So if you log in, the very first page that I used to log in was for my root account, where it gives only your email address or a username and your password. But if you use a child account, this is the login page that you should see. And if you want to use a root account credentials, you see the small tiny text here at the bottom. Sign in with using root credentials. So if I click on that, it will go take me to the page that we are already in. It should automatically. Okay, this is the page I was talking about. Great, it works. So remember that in future, always I'm going to log in with the three box window page. Let us call it that way. The child account, which doesn't have a lot of privileges, I'm going to log in with that page only. So let us see if you can set it up as a home study. Go ahead and set up your own account and give them root privileges or as much privileges you want. But be sure that this is the account you're going to use for a lot of your testing and experimentation and learning. So give them full access. If you are not able to give them full access, let me know. I'll show you how to do that. So I'm going to stop here. From tomorrow onwards, we are going to deep dive into each one of those services and topics. I usually start with S3, the storage service, simple storage service. And I would like you to be all of you present here. But today I saw a lot of people dropping in and out. Hopefully tomorrow everybody will join.